welcome back to the Unraveling Podcast. Hi, Jamie.
Hello. I got our new shirt on.
I know, you're repping it. We don't have them for sale, but we just wear them because we like them. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. I love the camo, though. It's very fitting for both of us, Montana and Texas. So.
I know, right? I know. I was shopping with my mom, and I was like, oh, this shirt's cute, and it was camo, and she's like, really? And she's like, I guess you live in Texas. I was like, I thought camo was cool. Like,
I think it's in now. It's in. It's not just
I mean,
for
it was my mom,
us country
so
people. Yeah. That's funny.
But anyway, we have been watching, so we've been watching a documentary about our history not being as it is. We don't want to say the name on here, so if you want the name, you can DM us and we will send it to you.
Hit us up.
There's actually a couple more that I like want to watch, so yeah, I can send you all of them that I've heard of that are good. But yeah, we've been deep diving into that, and
it is a long one, so if you're gonna go for it, I'm only on episode, I think I need to start on 5.
So. I think I'm on 7.
Yeah, I got a lot farther than me.
Yeah, and it's 11. I think there's 11 parts. Yeah,
and it's a pretty heavy watch.
Very heavy.
But so that's kind of where we're gonna start from.
Yeah, we can't say too much, but we will say what we can say.
Yeah, if you want to discuss it in our DMs, then
we're open to that.
We're inviting you over.
Yeah.
But first, I think we're gonna start with I have never heard of this until this documentary, but the Bolshevik Revolution. And I think Alyssa and I were just talking about this before, but it's just, I think the most shocking thing not the most shocking, there was a lot of shocking things about it. But was that Alyssa and I, we've mentioned this before, we grew up in a Christian school, we've gone to church, and I have never heard of this. And it's in this documentary, it said 60 million Christians died. So that's a pretty large number to not, like, why was that not significant enough to share in school when we went over church and Bible history?
Very interesting. Like going to a Christian school, being a Christian our entire lives and never having heard of this is like, what? Because it's like, I mean, with
it's
any
like
other
the 70 AD, if it doesn't fit their narrative, let's kind of just shove it aside.
Yeah, because it's like very much so with anything. If that's your culture, that's your religion, like you typically learn about the history of it. Like that's just like normal.
Yeah.
So yeah, to now find out we didn't hear about 70 AD, we didn't hear about this. These are 2 major things that Christians should be aware of. And we've been told none of it. So very interesting.
Especially I think what really got me with it was just the how gruesome it was. I was not expecting that, which just if anybody decides to watch it, the first episode
it's very hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch. I could almost not stomach it.
Yeah, it was probably the worst thing I've ever watched, to be honest. I don't think I've ever watched anything like what they showed, what they said they did to people was like, wow.
When you just realize that like the cruelty of that man is capable of when they're not walking with the Lord, it's like, whew. Or I guess in some cases, I don't know. It's just,
And that's like, I just feel like that's not even just not walking with the Lord. That's like
possessed.
Like you're possessed. Like that's not normal by any means. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to like kind of give a description
of what happened.
As brief as you can.
I mean, essentially, essentially it was just a rise in communism, and there was a certain people group that, they didn't want, I think the Christians were speaking out against them, or they just didn't like them. I wasn't really sure on that point.
I wasn't sure either, to be honest.
But to me, it just seemed like discrimination against the Christians. They, they wanted to destroy them. And like, there were pretty much, I don't think they called them concentration camps. They called them gulag, right?
Gulag,
gulag camps. And basically the same thing as what we know.
What we learned.
Yeah, as concentration camps. But they started here. And this is previous to the Holocaust. So, and it was just, it's like, it really was so sickening. I feel like I tuned out some of it because I couldn't even look at some of it.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think it's just so, we're going to stick to the topic today of like history that's been lied about or just, misinterpreted. And I think that's what's crazy is, like we said, this one in particular wasn't just lied about. I feel like it's been so swept under the rug. Like we said, we should have, Alyssa and I should have been learning about this in school. We learned about so much church history and things. So it's like, why would we miss this? And we did go over the Holocaust, but why wouldn't we go over Christian history of just these people being not just killed, they were tortured and like starved. And
it just like goes to show that we weren't allowed to know this, or we would have learned
there was
about
a purpose.
It. There
There was a
for us
purpose
not
in
knowing
hiding it.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, when you look at all of history, there's a purpose in what they share and what they don't share, because I feel like what I'm realizing is a lot of it isn't so much a lie as it is what they allow us to know. So like they give us portions of the truth, and that's how they operate. I mean, if you haven't recognized by now, like they have to operate in truth. So they are still sharing truths, but it's very much a twisted truth.
Right. I mean, it's like, so we've been talking about this. It's just like, okay, in our own lifetime, what we've personally lived through, it's like you have September 11th, it's like most of us have woken up to like, that wasn't exactly what we were told, but it did still happen. Right. And then it's like, you have
innocent
2020.
lives are still lost. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Then you have 2020. We all lived through that. They all claimed, all these deaths were because of that. And it's like, you later learned that they were putting that on everybody dying at that time, their death certificates, whether they died in a cancer accident, anything. Oh, it was all from the same thing. And it's like, no. So it's like, we've lived through these things. I mean, even something as small, not small, but like giving your kids, what, it's like they're telling you that's for our good, that's for our health. Meanwhile, they're making, I don't know, billions of dollars on it.
They
so
make
it's
money,
like
they make money off the and then they make money off the medications you have to go on to take care of whatever illness you get because of it.
Exactly. I don't know. It's just like, we've lived through and seen so many things at this point that they've changed in our lifetime. So you can only imagine how much has been changed in our past history that we didn't get to live through to say, oh no, this isn't what actually happened. So I just like, you have to, if you can see all these things, it's like, why wouldn't that also be something that was changed? I think that's where it's like hard for me.
It was easier to manipulate back then because now we have social media, we have the internet, and it's easier to share the truth quickly. Like 9/11, I think like the reason that failed is because that was when cell phones and videos were being taken. And before they could get to those people who were sharing the videos they had taken that day, like they couldn't control the narrative quick enough. You know what I mean? So it's like, we still have video, we have proof. And even things like Alyssa and I were talking about the Route 91 festival, which for us was close to home. Growing up in California, Las Vegas is only a 4-hour drive. I've been there so many times in my life. And I think like what people don't understand, it's funny because, not funny, but I was reading comments under, I think I showed you how when President Trump was shot in the ear, they like ushered in the photographers, and then you see the flag being lowered.
I saw
and there's
that.
People in the comments who were like, no, this couldn't have been staged. The flag wasn't lowered, even though you're watching it be lowered.
It's like literally on video.
And then someone's like, so a firefighter died for like, that was part of the fake plan or something. And I like, what people don't understand is the people who put these performances on, or these, I don't know what you call them. The
false flags.
False flags. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The false flags. They don't care about us. They don't care about the innocent people.
No.
That's why in 9/11, real people died. In all these school shootings, real people died, but they're putting them
I would almost say it's like a ritual for them.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, any shedding of blood is, a sacrifice for them. And it's a win-win, because it's like, you look at these shootings and innocent blood is shed, and they're also like, going to get their gun laws passed because, oh, this is happening so often. So it's a twofold thing for them. But like in the Trump one, I was just, I was like, he said, so this firefighter, like that was part of it. And it's like, they don't care. They don't
No.
care if they kill innocent people
No.
as long as it helps push whatever they're trying to push, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like even with, I don't know if, I don't know. I just think about like World War II and like all the bombings they did to all the buildings.
yeah.
It, it's like, we just see it as like people were killed and stuff, but it's like, were they doing that to get rid of evidence of these buildings, you
Oh,
know?
for sure. I think it
Yeah.
was like, again, it's like a twofold thing. It's like,
They get both.
yeah, we can shed blood and we can destroy what we've been, like the biggest lie of all, you know? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's what's like crazy is like, I've always, you know, I still do respect our military, the men who are willing to go and die
Yeah.
for our country. I might not
Sure.
agree with why we're going to war, but that's what I'm
But
realizing
their
is like,
intentions are definitely good.
yeah, like those
Yeah.
people deserve all our respect,
Right.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
But like now realizing how much of war is just like based on just stupid things. And honestly, like you said, I think a lot of it is they come up with this reason so they can go in and destroy, you know, stuff that is going to prove the lie that they've been telling us, prove it false, you know? Like
I even
even
heard the recent was it where they were trying to destroy the nuclear bomb? I've heard that there was something there that they were trying to specifically get rid of.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes so much sense because it's like there's never really any real reasons. I mean, even looking at the like time when I don't know where Winston Churchill's from, which I should because I was gonna talk about him
I
because
think from Britain,
yeah, he's
right?
from, yeah.
Because
So
this is why I know this. This is so stupid. But what's that show, The Crown? He was in The
oh, I
Crown.
watched part of
So
it. Yeah, okay,
that was in Britain, right? Like there was
I
like the
think
Queen
so.
and stuff.
Yeah, I have a hard time. Here's a funny story. I think it was like third grade. I had to write a paper on World War II. Mind you, I have older siblings who are watching Real World, the show on MTV. So I get my paper back. I'm what's it was second or third grade. So you're what, like 9, 10? And
You're like,
every single
no, you're
time
like 8, like 7 or 8.
yeah, like so every time I would mean to write World War II, I wrote Real World.
Oh my gosh.
And my teacher's circling it, and I'm sure my teacher is like old enough. She knew what, you know, she probably was watching that show. But ever since then, I've always been so insecure about saying World War II because I always, every time I'm talking about it with my husband, I like stutter and say real world. And I'm like, I know that's wrong. It's like, so it's still with me today. So if I say that at all during this
is why. It's fine.
It's the trauma in me from messing up on my paper.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But when he started that, like the thing that's crazy and that we don't hear a lot about is the mustache man who we can't talk about. It seemed like he, for a good part before it started, was trying to push like, let's not do this. But Winston Churchill, and I never realized how powerful Germany was during that time. I didn't, like, financially even, and just like I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And so, like, it kind of makes sense that Winston Churchill, like, his reasoning for starting war was more out of jealousy. And it's just like, I always thought of Winston Churchill, like, I did a project on him too. And like, he has speeches where he's like, you never ever give up. And like, that's one of his famous speeches. And it's pushed that way that he's this great man who just always fought and fought and fought, like, no matter what you do, what you need to do. And now I'm like thinking back, I'm like, so was it more so like, I don't know, they're pushing this idea that he's this great man, but he's pushing for war out of jealousy, not out of like an actual reason that would be valid, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, that's where I see the lies in history of like, they decide which leaders they're going to prop up and tell us are good. And like, to be honest with you, I feel the same way about nowadays, that I don't think any of them are good. I don't think you get to those levels of position with being a good man.
I know. It is very interesting because I think even with Trump, it's like his first 4 years, well, 3.5, because I'm going to count out the COVID stuff. Mm-hmm. He did seem like pretty genuine. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But now you really do see such like a switch that flipped. It's
Mm-hmm.
like he's so different. And like even the gaslighting of the Epstein stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
that's weird. Like
Oh
why would
yeah,
you, that doesn't make any sense. You're off,
because
it's
he's being
100% hiding something, right?
um
And I
a little
think, yeah,
puppeteer. Yeah.
yes. And it's like weird. Like he just looks different. He's so much more like serious and like hard and
Mm-hmm.
like just
Yeah.
like I don't know, like trying to make everybody feel stupid. And it's like, that's not normal. You were obviously bought out.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Which he
don't
probably
know.
was from the beginning. I think that was all. I think his character during that first term was intentional because
Mm,
people just loved him. I mean, even myself, it was like, you're hilarious and you say whatever you
yeah.
feel. We need
Yeah.
more of that. But now it's like, okay, that was part of the plan.
I guess. I don't know. I just think it's crazy. And I don't know if you guys have seen. And I don't know if they're now saying this isn't true, but I saw lots of articles about it one night that was saying that if your state doesn't support Israel,
Mm-hmm.
I think I sent this. Did I send it to
I've
you?
seen it around. Yeah.
Um, you now, if a natural disaster happens to you, FEMA is not going to help you, which is like all around terrible, right? Because we don't
Mm-hmm.
live there, we live in America, so that shouldn't be a part of whether FEMA comes to help us. And at the
Yeah.
same time, we also all know that you can control the weather. So is that a threat that if we don't agree with you, you're going to do something to our state and then not help
Oh, I
us?
didn't even think about that. Yeah.
That's like the first thing that came to my mind. Like, we all
Yeah.
know you control this. So it's like
Yeah.
that just seemed like a
Mm-hmm.
double threat. And I just feel
Yeah.
like I just lost all respect at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's
Well,
crazy.
yeah, I don't I haven't had respect for him for a while, but
Yeah,
um I find it interesting. It's like watching this documentary and learning about, I don't know if you have to bleep out that word. You might
I
have to,
probably
but
will.
learning about him, seeing the similarities, like
They are very similar.
they are very similar.
Hmm.
And to me, I think most people out there are like, "See, he is," but to me, they're purposefully, they both are, they're on a stage. So these are two
Hmm.
characters. They're playing the same character, you know?
Hmm.
And it's like, because it is really interesting. So my husband's great grandpa, he was a youth, and he has said several times that the way Trump is reminds him so much of.
Hmm.
And I mean, even down to like what's really interesting watching this documentary is like down to almost their like idea that they were trying to push at the beginning of their like terms of like make Germany great again, essentially. And that's kind of, you
Yes,
know,
it was very similar.
so it just
Mhm.
makes you realize that it's all like so scripted, you know,
Mhm.
whether or not was, I don't know, but like they're definitely basing Trump, his character,
It
his
very
off of
similar.
him, you know.
Yeah,
And
I
there,
would
I mean,
definitely
there's
agree.
always intention behind that. So
Yeah.
it just makes you realize how much is just like fake, and then the things that are really happening, they're only sharing partial truths, like you said, like 2020. It's like, we know, we lived through it, we watched it, we even, I mean, you can even look up the real statistics and see that what they're pushing is false.
Hmm.
But no matter what in the history books that the kids are going to get in school, it's going to be pushed that this was one of the most deadly, insane things that ever happened.
Yeah, so one of the things it was also talking about was that like there was a huge push for feminism at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. And it was just talking about how it's like, okay, so we're like pushing these women, go back to work. It's all about feminism and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Now and I forgot to look this up before, but I am very curious when kids went to school back then. Like, what was the norm before the feminism push?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the documentary, it was talking about now women are going back to work earlier, and that means we get the kids earlier. So if we get the
Mm-hmm.
kids earlier, we get to indoctrinate them earlier, essentially. You know, it's
Yeah.
like they're getting them even younger. So it's like the younger you start hearing something,
Mm-hmm.
the more real it's going to be to you.
Oh
So
yeah.
it definitely like, it's like we know that's what it is, but it does make so much sense that like
Everything had a purpose.
everything
Like
has a
the
purpose. And
feminism wasn't
ugh,
to empower you
no.
women I
You're
say you, I
breaking
mean,
up
obviously we're women.
families.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh,
but it's like we're not falling for it because it's not empowering. It's
no.
just that was their way to just get what they want. And it's like sad that we are so easily manipulated.
And it's funny too, because me and Chase have obviously been talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a girl at his like she's like an older lady at his work that she's not old, but she's older than us. That anyway, she came in and she's training with him. And he has to do like hard things. Like his job isn't
Mm-hmm.
like a sit down at a desk job. Like he's doing hard things. He has to like get stuff because he
Yeah.
builds like parts for like helicopters and stuff. So, okay, so he has to pull things out of this super hot oven, right? And he said it's so crazy and like sometimes you get burned. Anyway, so he's having to teach her how to do it. And he's like, this is why I think feminism again is so wrong. Cause he's like, she shouldn't have to be doing this. Like as a woman, like
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad to even ask her to do this. Like she
Yeah.
shouldn't have to do it, you know? And he's like, if she gets hurt, I feel like it's my fault and I should be doing this part for her, but this is now her job. And you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
I think all in all, it's just like we weren't supposed to do this.
Well, what's funny too is I feel like it's the feminists who will be like chivalry is dead, and it's like no, you killed it. Like because these men, they can't even offer you help, or you yell at them.
I know.
And me, I'm gladly like,
oh,
go
thank
for
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
We're always talking about how bad I am with electronics, and what I'm realizing is like I am bad with electronics, but it's also that I just have my husband who does it, and I'm just like
same.
Come on
even
in.
Like,
I don't need to do it.
I know. Even I feel like when we're out, like just out with the kids, I'm like less like watching everything as much as if I'm with him. And I'm like, I don't even realize that I do it. But like something happened the other day when we were out and I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even like thinking about that. And I'm like, it's because you're here. And I just like
trying to figure out my hair's bugging me. Sorry.
It's fine. It's cute.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I'm just like, it's just funny when like a man is around, you feel safer. And it's like, that's what it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to be like, oh, we're equals. Like that's not how God made us.
Or that they're dominating over you. It's like that protection and that like, protection. Oh, you can help me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's sad that women choose to see it the other way.
Yep, for sure. I was going to show that thing I sent you this morning because we were talking about and stuff and like, so I have an aunt, a great aunt. She passed away, I think 2 years ago, but she had polio my whole life. She was in a wheelchair. And like during that time, it's hard because so my parents are very much anti now, but they weren't. But when you talk about, I mean, I feel like they've kind of come out of it now because I've had conversations. But even still, if you talk to them about polio, because emotionally they were attached to my aunt who had it, it was a very real thing. So it was like, oh, that one was necessary though, because look at your aunt. The thing is like I've had to tell them it's no different than 2020. It was, do I believe that the illness was real? Yeah, yes. But it was created.
Yes, it was created.
That way you would have to get this shot. And so I like had to explain to them. I was like, you guys do realize that like none of this is different. Nothing there again, it's like that video I posted that that Angela was saying, like the devil isn't creative. So it's like these are the same exact things happening over and over. It's just these illnesses are created. They're real. People do get sick, but they're created so that they can pump you full of their to make money, and those cause further damage. But and when you have
to keep going back,
yeah. But the thing is, the way to get people to believe their narrative is through trauma and through that emotional attachment. So it's like it's taken my parents even a while to realize that maybe the polio wasn't needed. Like maybe it was the initial polio was created. So it's like, well, that's where it's hard because people get emotionally attached to people, you know. And I saw my aunt suffer.
And with that, weren't they spraying? Wasn't it called DDT or something like that? They were like spraying it around kids.
Oh, then. I don't know.
I feel like they even talked about it in. What's that?
Maybe I haven't gotten that far in that documentary.
No, not in that. It was like a British show. I like British shows.
Like the British Bake Off. Talk about a good show. I love.
My sister loves that show.
It's so good.
No, it's Call the Midwife. I think
Oh yes.
didn't they
I
show
love
like
that show
kids
too.
running and they were like spraying something at the same time, and they even showed the invention of the polio,
Wow.
in that
That's
show.
weird.
But I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
was further on. I stopped watching season 5 because they started adding a bunch of weird stuff.
It did start
But
getting weird. That was
but
such a good show though.
it
I
was
love
a really
British
good
shows.
show. I know. But I was gonna share. I'm gonna screen share real quick. Actually, I
Okay.
wanted to on that. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Let me see.
What are you
I
sharing? Oh, the
could have
thing that you just sent me
sworn
this
the
morning.
thing I just sent you, but also I'm pretty sure that polio was tied to tonsils, right? Wasn't it like that's why, or there's something that's the tonsils being removed? The purpose
Oh, that
was
would make
because it
sense.
actually makes you, gosh dang it, I wish I had
What? Okay, now I
wrote
need to
this
know what
down.
you're gonna say.
Okay, so this I learned forever ago that there is a connection between tonsils being removed and let's see which one,
I'm tripping out
and
because I've
polio.
always thought, like, why is it just a normal thing for kids to get their tonsils removed? That cannot be like a normal thing.
Yeah, I mean everything has a purpose, so why would God make it
So
that we have this
crazy.
thing that
Interesting.
okay, so okay, you can see me all right? Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, it says right here. That's what's crazy is like you only have to Google stuff.
I
So
know.
the reason they were like pushing tonsillectomies, is that how you say it? Tonsillectomies.
Yeah, that's right.
Why can't I minimize this? There we go. That way I can see you while I do this. Give me a second. Okay. So the relationship between polio and tonsils is debated, and that's because I think people were starting to realize the connection. So of course they're going to add that in there. It's debated now. But
Yes.
so, however, studies stop popping up. However, studies have shown that children who had their tonsils removed were more susceptible to polio, leading to a shift in medical practices. So it's like everything
That
they
is
know these things,
so
you know,
crazy
it's
to me.
crazy. Yeah. So like the whole
That's
purpose
wild.
of removing removing the tonsils is so that more children would catch the polio
That's
virus.
insane.
And so it's just like the things they do, it's so wicked. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to share this thing too, talking about more of these
That is
lies.
just insane to me.
Okay, so this is going back to 2020 and the mask. So this is by Anna von Reitz. In 2008, Dr. Anthony Fauci co-authored a paper about the Spanish flu epidemic that rates as the most devastating modern pandemic. I really need glasses. This is crazy. It swept the
It's
entire
small.
planet. It's like, whoa. Swept the entire planet in the wake of the First World War and caused millions of deaths. So, in studying this major and actual pandemic, what did Dr. Fauci and his colleagues find? They discovered that most of the victims of the Spanish flu didn't die from the Spanish flu. Shocker. They died from bacterial pneumonia, and the bacterial pneumonia was caused by, wait for it, wearing masks. Which is just
Crazy.
so like, it's crazy because it's like all of us who, let me stop sharing real quick. During that time, like we knew that wearing a mask 24/7 could not be good for you.
No.
And it's like even is it OSHA, is that how you yeah, like they had certain regulations that I think like for places that do wear masks for like safety when they're working with like chemicals or something, but you could only wear them for certain periods of time because they know these things will happen. So it's like,
I mean, especially people who use like the ones that you don't throw away. You know, like
oh yeah. Ugh.
how many days in a row are you going to wear that? That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, just like,
So gross. I know.
I can't. I remember when they put that, I thought like we were going to get out of it because we're in Texas and we had to wear them.
Not me. I was in good old California.
I was devastated. I hated wearing them so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
I
can't
got one of
even.
those ones. My mom found these like,
Oh, the
of
mesh
of
ones.
course my mom, because she's so blingy. She got these ones on Etsy that were
Yeah.
mesh, but they had like, it was bedazzled, so you couldn't tell it was mesh, so it looked like a real mask.
Yeah, oh
But
my
like
gosh.
that's the only, I never would wear it. Like anytime I go in places, they'd be like, "Oh, do you need a mask?" And I just say, "No, thank you," and keep
No,
walking.
I'm
But
good.
I didn't really get stopped that much like considering I was in California.
That is really crazy. I feel like we did have to wear them for, it was a short time though, but like specifically flying, that's what got me. Like,
yeah, because your kids, right?
My kids. And it's like,
your oldest at the time probably was the age they made them.
He
right?
had to, but like when I go out, nobody would say anything about him. But on the airplanes, they were like crazy, and like they had, and like they even made my I think he was 3 at that time, wear one, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
I never with our kids. It like I never.
I think the airplane was.
But I didn't fly. We flied after 2021, which we were going to Mexico, and that was adults still had to. And actually, we were just looking at a video from that in the airport there, and the kids were like, "Why are you guys wearing those things?" It was just like,
you can tell what year it is when you see those, I guess.
I know, it's so crazy,
but it is crazy.
Crazier is like a lot of people during that time. I just feel like I was a lot more vocal then. I think 2020 made me realize that, you know what, everybody's going to have their different opinions. We don't all need to share them. Because it's like at the end of the day, it's about sharing God's love and sharing my opinion about how dumb 2020 is, didn't help anybody get saved. So like I learned to be quiet a lot more on things unless people ask me. But when people be mad at me for not agreeing with everything, it was like, you don't even care about the immunocompromised. I'm like, I'm married to one. And so that was my biggest frustration was like, I have family who's severely immunocompromised and we're not getting it. Like, I know what it's like to live with someone with that, you know?
Yeah. I know.
It's easier to talk about 2020 since we actually had to live through it. And you could see the evidence of like.
But yeah, it's like you just see how much they twisted all that around. So another thing I wanted to talk about too was like in Gaza right now, all the stuff going on. They're literally starving everybody. Like they're not allowing food to go through. So there's hardly any food over there. I have not seen any of these videos personally, but I've just heard of all the videos of what they're doing to the babies. I've heard that they're literally lining them up in lines for like food and like shooting them. It's just like, it just makes me think these are all the same things that happened in the Holocaust. They were starving people in the Holocaust.
And the Bolshevik Revolution. Yeah. It's all
like
the same story.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So we're living through it right now. The same thing that happened then, we're living through today. Yet we don't hear about these things unless you're like looking for the truth. If you're just listening to mainstream media, you're not hearing any of this stuff. They're all on you know whose side, you know? And so it's like, it's so easy to see how they could have changed that even for the people living at that time, because this is 100 years ago, you know? And it's like, we have internet now and we have all these things now that they didn't have. So how easy would it have been for them to change whatever they wanted to change, and whatever they wanted to go with, that's what they went with. But it's just like, I think it's insane for anybody to stand with them with what they're doing right now.
What's alarming is that it's a lot of, I feel so bad. It's raining outside and they're stuck out there. But what's alarming is like, it's a lot of Christians who are okay with this.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, these are the same Christians that are pro-life, as you should be if you're a believer, who are pro-life.
But you're okay with like them babies.
Yeah. So it's like, does life really matter that much to you, or only when it's convenient? You know?
It's just like there's just no words. I feel like when
they have, you know, as long as they have their reasons, it's acceptable. And it's like, well, the woman who wants to get an abortion has a reason too. So are you going to be on her side now? You know? So it's like, you can't play both sides.
And it's worse what they're doing now, because they're, you know what I mean? Like, they're big, they're doing awful things to them. They're not even just, you know? Yeah. So it's just, it just makes me so upset that like Christians are so willing to look the other way and just believe what they want to believe that sounds good to them, because they don't want to look into the truth. And it's like, if you would just open your eyes, you could, all the truth is right in front of us, but you're choosing to have your blinders on because you're like, God's chosen people.
I think
you know?
that's like, I watched a sermon last night, and it's just talking about how a lot of the standing with Israel, a lot of it boils down to the one verse. So just about, bless
One.
Israel, you'll be blessed. And what it all comes down to is like selfishness of like, so do you really care about blessing Israel, or do you care about the fact that you'll be blessed if you do it?
Yes.
So
I
it's
feel
like,
like that's where it's got to be because it doesn't make any sense. And it's like they're
mm-hmm,
too scared to even look. Like they're
mm-hmm,
just so scared they're going to miss out on a blessing that it's like
yeah,
you're not willing to look at what. Yes, the Bible does say something like what you're saying it says.
but
But
it's
then
not, yeah.
there's all these other verses that are going against that one verse that you
Mm-hmm,
have. So it's like,
yeah.
what are you. It.
I'm
I
sorry, but I
can't.
don't think the Lord's going to bless anybody who thinks
Is
taking
promoting that.
life is okay. Yeah.
No, he's not. He would be
Mm-hmm.
disgusted.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
it's
there's a
like,
difference in taking, like, I want to say, like, I think some of these men who've had to go to war and protect themselves and self defense, I think self defense in general is a very
right.
different, like, we're not even
Oh,
going
yeah.
there. I just want to make
No,
that clear. We're talking
for
about just
sure.
taking the life for the sake of taking a life. Abortion is taking a life because you don't want to take responsibility.
Same with
And
doing that, like offing women and children, like
yeah, Bolshevik, this
the
current day, it's
Christians.
like
Yeah.
it's just for the sake of taking a life and having
Mm-hmm.
that power. And I mean, for them, I mean, isn't the purpose? I don't follow too much of that, just enough to like know, but the purpose in these killings is because they want to take over the land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like that isn't a respectable cause to take over land. You already have a piece of land,
No. And now I've heard
you
that
know?
they're even going to, it's not just like, I don't know. I know they're going on like after a different part now that they weren't
Hmm.
going after before. So it's just going to get worse. And it's like they've
Yeah.
already gone after Syria.
Ultimately, I mean, if you follow that view, if you are a Christian Zionist and you follow the dispensationalist view, this is kind of what the sermon was getting at, is like at the end of it, an antichrist, in their view, I'm not saying this is biblical, in their view, an antichrist is going to come, that their temple's going to come, the antichrist is going to destroy Israel. I mean, that's kind of what they believe. So
Right.
you believe that blessing Israel is good so they can get their land, so the antichrist can come, so Jesus can come back and take you, but most of Israel will be destroyed.
Yeah.
So you want your blessing, and then you're going to escape out of here, and then the people
Mm-hmm.
that you've been protecting this whole time, you don't care anymore because, at the end of the day, it's like you're supporting them to bring on the antichrist, to bring on the
So
third
that you
temple.
can be out of this place and
So
in
yeah, so
heaven.
you can be raptured and taken out. We have been able to observe ourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
also like looking back, like if you just do a little bit of digging, a lot of the history that we've been given, you can find like the holes in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like we talked about the Route 91 festival, I mean, this alone, it's like, again, another like, we were around for this. I know people who were there. I know people who thought there was multiple shooters, and that was shut down so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they give you the visual of the hotel room. Mind you, I went to Vegas after this because I wanted to, me, I've like got to visualize it. So like we went there, and my husband and I like walked that area
Mm-hmm.
specifically just to see like from that room to there, like, what would it really take? And
Yeah.
it's just like, it's not believable. It's not, it's just like, but that's what's going to be taught. It's like you can't question it because they have all the facts laid out. The guy's already been killed, provably the shooter, and that's that. It's done. And
Mm-hmm.
there are accounts of people who survived that and were speaking out about there being multiple shooters and ended up dying in car accidents and things, like not long after that. And that's very
Mm-hmm.
suspicious. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like if we can't question those things, like our common sense says that's not normal. To be at a festival, to be at a shooting is like a huge deal. And then to
Mm-hmm.
to survive that and to die in a car crash, like, I don't know,
I
it's just
know.
crazy.
It's so crazy. But it's like, it's kind of like, it just reminds me, Candace Owens has been talking about Brigitte Macron,
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, all you have to do is like show me some pictures of like you growing up. Show me some pictures of you
it's really
pregnant
not
with
that
your
difficult.
kids. It's not that hard. So it's the same exact thing. It's like all these people, they want to like say all these things, like call you names and stuff if you question things. But it's like, well, if you're right, show me the Bible verse. Show me the pictures. It's like you only act like that when you're in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like when you know you have something to cover up.
Especially
and like
that festival. What's funny about that one is like, it's not funny at all. Well, you know, people who've been there.
No.
And that's the thing.
Yes.
Again, innocent lives are lost. That's the sad thing, is like they don't care if they
I mean,
kill
we
us.
were close with someone who went, and we saw her within a few days of that. And it was like, she obviously lived through that. It was real. It's not like we're saying it wasn't real.
Yeah.
It's just like there was something more to it that people were obviously not allowed to question. And that's where it's alarming.
Yeah. I mean, this story about this old guy, first of all, he's overweight, he's old. And if you look at the hotel room, my dad, who he used to be a cop and stuff, and during that time was in really good shape. And he's like looking at this, he would have had to run back from window to window shooting these off. And he's like, that would be exhausting for someone who's like physically fit. But for a man like this, like, it's just crazy.
It is
and
crazy.
It's like,
wasn't there videos that came out like later about him going up and down to the hotel room? I remember seeing
but it
that,
was like so long after.
It was very long.
Yeah.
And then they never like followed through with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had time. It's just like the JFK video. They took, I don't remember how long they took to come out with that video of that, but there's always such a significant time in between, so they can like alter
do
it.
Whatever. Yeah.
And it's like he did stay at that hotel. Everybody that knew him said he did go and gamble all the time. So it's like, is it really that shocking? There's video of him going up and down elevators. Like it's not that hard to fake, but it's like, so it's easier. I don't know. I just feel like they have done a really good job of shutting down our common sense, and like that's why we don't question. A lot of people don't question anything, because it's like, oh, they already figured it out. So even if your common sense is telling you a little bit, like, oh, that's a little off, you're just gonna say, well, it's already figured out. So
it's crazy.
It's nuts. I have a lot on here I didn't get to, but one thing I discovered, I feel like I want to talk about this at some time if anybody has any more information on it, but the donation of Constantine I was telling you about that ended up giving like more power over, it was a forged document, and it gave power and control to the papacy. But it was forged, and it's like knowingly forged. And it's just like, you can see how these like things like the Vatican and the Roman Empire, like how easy it is to become powerful by lying and doing shady things, you know?
Yeah. It is crazy. And it's just wild to me that, like I was saying to you this week, I don't know how more people aren't like more curious about these things. Like, how are we just like, okay, that's fine, when we know all these other things are lies?
Yeah.
It's like weird to me. Like, I guess we're just different and we just like to get to the bottom of things. But it's like, how do you not want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Because if what they're telling us is true, they're not going to be upset when we question things. We're not going to not be allowed to talk about things, or, you know?
Yeah. It's like, how do you live through something like 2020 and totally know, like, you're willing to say, oh, I watched this, it was a lie. Like everything they're doing was a lie. But when you question older history, it's like, no. You know, even like the fact that there's still people who believe in the moon landing.
I was just going, that's what was coming out of my mouth. It's crazy to me.
Oh, that was something I was going to talk about. I was just seeing this thing that, because there's people who still think that we're the idiots because we believe that was false. But now, so this movie came out a while ago. I didn't get to watch it. I probably wouldn't enjoy it, but it's called Fly Me to the Moon.
I wanted to see it with Channing Tatum. I never watched it, but it was like basically what they actually did.
Yeah. And so I thought it was them admitting, like, so I guess the premise of that movie is, and this is what some people believe. Some people believe that the moon landing footage is fabricated, but that they still actually went. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah. So they filmed this in case they weren't able to film the actual moon landing when they got there. But the thing is that's not what they said on television when they, you know, they weren't like, this is a reenactment of what we just were able to accomplish.
They said it was real.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, they still lied to you. They're telling you this is real.
So. Oh
So
my
it's like I
gosh,
feel like
it's
that's just
like
people's way around it because they want to believe it so badly, and they're like, "Oh, we did go, but
no.
they had to do this. They had to lie to us." You know, it's like
Wait,
what?
can I please screen share one more thing? I have
Yeah, go
to.
for it.
Okay. The
I was
one
just shocked
video
by this.
that I sent you, um, whatever. I'm not over it.
Oh, the moon one.
This is a photo that they
An
actually
image.
are an image they're presenting to us as real. NASA captured rare image of the moon passing by the Earth. Look at this. How dumb do you think we are? This is not real. I was like, I watched it like 1,000 times, and I'm like asking my husband, like, no, this can't be real. And he's like, yeah, like it's literally
That's
supposed to be.
what I showed my husband,
I
and he was
can't.
the same thing. He's like,
Oh
"No,
my
NASA
gosh.
didn't put that out," and I was like, "No, they did."
I
He's like,
was like,
"What?" Like,
this is not real. Like they
you
think
guys, I
we're
just got
so
done watching Star
stupid.
Wars with my family, with my kids, and it's
It
like
probably looked more real than that.
that's
Honestly.
what Alex is always saying. He's like, Star Wars looks more real than what they show.
I
It's
just
just
like
like,
I'm not over that. Like what?
yeah,
I
it
mean,
is
but it was funny. A lot of the comments on it were like, "Is this like I don't know?"
a
Everybody was just
joke.
saying like, "This is so stupid. Like this can't be real." I don't know.
I
I
just
don't know.
like, yeah, and talk about history that's fake too. NASA in and of itself is just a big fat lie. I just went on this. Okay, I love Kent Hovind. I don't know if you grew up listening to Kent Hovind.
I don't know that
He
is.
like, he's all about the dinosaurs and fossils and like proving stuff like that. But he is not doesn't believe the biblical cosmology.
Okay.
He believes the Earth is a globe. But I just thought it was funny. Like I commented on it. I don't like to comment and disagree with people, but sometimes I just feel like it needs to be done. And I was just like, you know what? Like the problem with, because they were basically in the video, can't basically says to even think that the earth could be flat or different than the globe, you're stupid,
Okay.
which I thought was a little bit harsh. But I just pointed
right,
out
though.
that like NASA is a man-made entity. And from verse 1, they lie to you and it contradicts the Bible. So in what world would we put like our trust in NASA over
God.
God's word? Or why would we even want to trust them when from verse 1 they are telling you the Bible is wrong?
It's
And to me,
very weird to me.
yeah, it's like that
Very
for me,
weird.
that's enough. It's like even if they had some truth behind any of the stuff they do, I don't put my trust in NASA. They deny God's word, they deny him. So it's like why would I listen to them?
It's very strange, especially like when people are kind of aware, but they still just choose NASA. It's like,
I know. I mean, even my parents still believe all
same.
that's real.
It's weird because, it's like,
But again,
if
it's
you,
that emotional attachment.
it has to
They watched
be.
it on the TV, so
I
like the moon landing.
know. I
So
guess that's got to be it because it's funny because I've heard multiple people like say the verses in the Bible do sound like it's more flat than round. And it's like, yeah, there's not one verse that sounds like it's a spinning ball in the middle of outer space. There's a lot of verses that make it sound like it's flat. So it's like
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird to me like that so many people are still like, but it doesn't say it verbatim. So I'm just gonna pick NASA. Like,
but it's like
what?
again, it's like your common sense when you read those verses all throughout scripture. Your common sense starts to put together a picture, and it's not a globe, but then they tell you otherwise. So you're like, oh, I have to shoot. This must really be what the Bible means, but I'm misunderstanding it. Yeah, it's crazy. And I put on there too, just talking about like how the reason the globe, it's like it promotes the Big Bang and evolution
Yep.
so
It goes hand
much
in
that
hand.
there is a purpose for it.
Yes.
It's not just like,
I was just explaining this to someone the other day.
yeah, like that's their purpose in it. Is like,
Yeah.
shoot, we can't continue pushing this Big Bang theory if we don't come up with like an alternate way the Earth is, because this will make sense for what we're pushing. It's just there are so many lies, but like at the end of the day, like the history, like there is a lot of what they're sharing, there is truth to it.
Right.
Because
we're
they
just
have to
hearing what
always.
they want us to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
way they want us to think it went down. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
crazy.
you start to think you're crazy. Well, I don't, but a lot of people might who are starting to question it, you know.
Well, yeah, when
like,
you first hear things, you're like, that just sounds insane because it doesn't go with what everybody else says.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, no, just because not everybody else says that doesn't make it untrue. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, most people in the world don't believe what the Bible says.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, we already have to think different as believers. You have to think different. You're not going to agree with everybody. So it's like, what's one more thing? Oh, and what's another thing? And what's another thing? You know, it just kind of keeps piling on. But
people, I think, they don't want to become the nuts like us. They don't want to be those people. They think everything's false, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't. I just think that they get to decide what the narrative is behind what happens, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it definitely does come down to like people don't want to be considered kooky or whatever. And it's like, so what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather know the truth and I'd rather be informed.
Same. And I wanted to go over one of somebody in our question box was just talking about how should we teach our kids history if we know so much of it is a lie. So I feel like we've talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah, I think so.
I just approach it. I mean, my kids aren't old enough to really go through, I don't know, we're not to history, like a history course yet. They're so little. Yeah. I don't know when that's really, but I approach all these things that I don't see eye to eye on as like secular with like, this is what, like the earth, for instance. Like I've told my kids, this is what the world says, and this is the conclusion they've come to. But based off of reading the Bible, this is the conclusion like I've come to, and you're gonna have. I always tell them you're gonna have to decide for yourself. I think just like telling them like it's okay if you come to a different conclusion than us, than their parents. I think that's so helpful to them because it's like, okay, I'm allowed to look into both sides and see what I think.
Yeah, that's for sure the way I go about everything. Like, I just always want them to know, like, you can grow up and we can disagree and I'm still going to love you and you can still talk to me. You don't have to not tell me your thoughts, you know? Like, I just want it to always be open. And I think when you're not open to conversation, it's just weird. Like, I think, so what if we disagree?
Yeah,
like,
and I think
doesn't
it's just
really
like,
matter.
You can just pick any topic in history and tell them
this is what is we were taught.
Yeah, and then tell them like, this is what these are the things I see differently.
I feel like I don't remember 95% of what I learned in school about history. So
I loved history. I loved it.
I'm like, I have to relearn everything. Like, I mean, I kind of remember some of the basics, but like, I don't really remember. Like, you remember Winston Churchill so much. I remember him from The Crown. That's about it. Like,
yeah, I loved history.
I don't remember anything.
But here's what I don't like about school in general is it's like, school in general is you take a test and the right answer is the answer that I've told you is right. Kids have no room to like have a different opinion. Because if you do, you're going to get an F on your test. And that's how they get you to believe what they want you to.
I'm so curious. Like, I mean, if you really think about school, like, do we really need 13 years of school going over the same things every single year? It just sounds insane. And that's why I'm so curious, like, before, like, the whole feminism thing started, what was, like, how long did you go to school for? And all these things. Like,
well, honestly, I feel like they probably only taught, like, arithmetic and
English.
Reading and writing, yeah. Well, that's what's crazy, too, is, like, this is coming from someone, I loved history class. That was probably one of my favorite subjects. But I was just thinking, like, so we took out, like, home ec and mechanics and art and
Driver's
music.
ed.
all these things.
that we actually need in life.
History. Like, history is important. Like, I think it's always good to research things. But it's like, we took out all the things that are going to give us skills and actually make us better people. History does not make you better. No. It just gives you facts. And like that's for you, and you don't even remember those facts.
I don't remember, and I spent 13 years learning it. So yeah, so it's like for what?
So like, yeah, there's a time and a place, but
Yeah.
it's like,
I don't
I'm
think
just
we
so
need to
glad
go
my
over it
kids.
so much.
Yeah, it's like,
Like, it's just
why
too
wouldn't we be
much.
going over things that actually make us better?
I know. And like prepare you for life.
Yeah.
This is
And I
not
just saw
preparing
this
us for life.
thing. This lady posted this thing. Actually, she just started following us. She said she's going to listen to our podcast. So,
Hmm.
hey. But she was posting
Hey.
about um shoot, why am I blanking on what
I don't know, James.
she was saying? I'll have to go to her post. I'm telling you, people could make a drinking game out of the times we lose our train of thought.
Honestly, we're like, wait, what?
Oh my
This
goodness.
is
But
how it really is. This is
yeah.
normal life.
Oh,
It's
but she was
normal.
saying that I'm not sure if it was relative to like a particular area or if it's just something they're trying to pass all around, but where they're going to send people in to check in on homeschool families
Ugh.
and see what they're going over. And it's like
It's
the
probably
whole
in
purpose,
California and New York.
probably, yeah. But it's like the whole purpose of us taking our kids out is because we
So
want
you don't
freedom to
have
teach them.
yeah,
Yeah, we
we don't
don't
want
want you
your
to have a
opinion.
say.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like the
that's the
thing
point.
is, homeschool kids are, this is getting long, so I'm sorry. I hope you're okay with going a little longer.
That's
But
fine.
homeschool kids are so like, okay, we grew up thinking there's that like, that thought of homeschool kids are weird. Homeschool
I
kids
was
are
one of
smart,
them. Okay, I was one of them.
but you ended up going
I
to high
did end up going
school.
to,
So
but my first year back after being homeschooled,
was it hard?
do you remember?
I don't remember, and I don't remember meeting you until
I
we met
was so made fun of.
bubble in junior
I
high.
don't honestly, I don't remember talking to you ever.
No,
And
I think the first
no,
time I remember you is lunchtime and
in ninth grade
Candace,
with
and then
Candace. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and Chase.
But I don't even think I ever really talked to you. It was just like, oh, we sat at the same lunch table.
No, we didn't. But it's just so funny. Like I did struggle. I had a real hard time coming from
Do you think
homeschool.
it was like just the social
Yeah,
aspect?
I think I
Okay.
did have a hard time. But I remember testing to go into eighth grade and I
Mm-hmm.
did bomb. Like I was so
Yeah.
smart.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I was homeschooled.
And the reason is because I think homeschool kids are so much more mature. They're
Yes,
just
they
like,
are way different. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's probably what the problem was. You went in and you're mature and you get all these immature little sassy
Maybe.
girls who are like,
Yeah, I was just better than everybody.
yep, pretty much.
No, but it is. And I remember like other kids coming to our school that were homeschooled and like they did struggle their first year. I think
Mm-hmm.
it does, but I don't know because I feel like my kids can go into any setting, like go into church, go into their
Mm-hmm.
new sports team, and they have friends right off the bat. Like they're
Yeah.
really easy. I
But
don't
I think
know.
they're
So
also
maybe it
good.
was
I
my
think that high
personality.
school, junior high
It's
time is so
different.
crucial to like,
Yeah.
and we're so much more aware of ourselves. So maybe that's part of it.
Maybe because it was
Um,
when I was like 13 that I like really struggled.
yeah.
But that's also like a weird time in
Mm-hmm.
anybody's
Oh
life,
yeah,
I feel like.
for
So,
sure.
yeah. I
That's what I
don't
was like
know.
saying. I just feel like they have like they've put this like stigma on homeschool kids. Even
For sure.
I've been talking to Alyssa about this documentary. It came out a while ago. I didn't know that, but that Shiny Happy People that talks about the Duggar
Hmm.
family, and there's a lot of alarming things in there. But one thing I don't like, even though I know there's a lot of very wrong things that happen, is like you listen to some of them who came out of this like cult
Hmm.
and they're talking about homeschool kids, and one of the couples, they came out of it, but they're just like, you can always spot like a homeschool kid. So you could totally see that this whole documentary
Is like,
is
oh,
still
has an
trying,
agenda.
yeah, they're still trying to
Hmm.
put down like,
Yeah.
as wrong as a lot of almost everything in that cult was, like it's
Hmm.
not bad to put your like homeschool your kids. And
No.
actually the daughter, she was the only one who said like, you know, homeschool is so pushed because they don't want their kids to be indoctrinated. And she said, and that is true in a lot of ways. So she made sure to be like,
Hmm.
it's still okay to like
I
not
just
put your kids in
think,
that.
I think since 2020, homeschool has become very normal. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think, like, when we were growing up, it was really looked down on. Like, people
Yeah.
were, it was like you were just made fun of if you were homeschooled. But now I feel like it's super normal that I don't feel like, I don't think it's that weird.
And it's just like, I watched this thing on these people who homeschooled their kids. And by the time they were 16, they, two of them like had their own business because they were
Oh,
able,
wow.
one was able to focus on baking and she loved it. And she
Mm-hmm.
took all these like classes and now she has her own baking business. And then the son was a woodworker. And by
Mm-hmm.
the time he was 18 and like had been doing this since he was like my son's age, he became so skilled that now he's selling like his pieces, and it's just like,
it's true.
So it's like,
that's like my
are
kids
they
right
weird,
now,
or are they just
they're just so
more
smart and
advanced?
talented.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my kids right now are so into the piano and drawing, and like I'm just like amazed every day. I'm like, I can't believe, and I'm not even really doing much. Like they're just figuring out on their own, and I'm like, dang, you guys. And it's like they would not have this time if they went to a normal school to spend all this time on their, like learning
what
all
they
these
like
things.
doing. Yeah.
So I think it's so cool. I don't know. I'm all for homeschool. I don't think they're
too.
weird.
And you know what I think was different during, well, like we were growing up, is a lot of moms of our generation had to work because they were still a part of, my mom had to work full time. So there wasn't as much of like an opportunity, which I guess there isn't now. I think more the difference is more of us are waking up to what's going on in schools, and so a lot more
That's what I'm saying. I think
are willing to make that
2020
sacrifice.
is like, oh wow, like I'm not sending my kids to these schools. Like
yeah.
So it's like I think it kind of backfired on them a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to go over too. We had a comment from a homeschool stay-at-home mom, just who's like new to, I hate saying the crunchy world, but like just how to kind of go about things like in a way that's like taking care of your family in that way. And I think maybe like the financial side of it, like how, I don't know exactly. I need to reread her comment, but I'd like to talk about that sometime. So if anybody's interested, just like it doesn't, we could do maybe a short episode on just like the things we've done to help get us out of like, to become a one income home, because it does take sacrifice, but
it definitely does. Yeah.
But anyway, so that was all to answer the question of how we're going to teach our kids history.
But yeah, I think that was,
I mean, yeah, it's just like anything. It's just giving them the opportunity to think for themselves, I think,
and not just being like, there's one way. You can't ever question anything. Like if they have questions, give them answers. Or say, I don't have an answer for that. Like,
let's look into this together. Like you did with your oldest. Like,
like let's
I don't know
figure
about
it out.
Yeah. So,
well,
I feel like that was pretty much everything. Oh, I did see someone was talking about us going over the Vikings. So maybe we will try in the future. Don't know when, because we kind of have a lot coming up. But I am curious.
I don't know anything about the Vikings.
I don't either, but I did just
it came from history, so
I
don't remember.
Just see How to Train Your Dragon with my sons.
Oh, I've never watched that.
It was actually a really cute movie.
Oh, okay.
But there are some things, so maybe we will go over that.
And that's about the Vikings, or
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I assume they were Vikings. They looked like the Vikings that I'm envisioning, but I think there's a lot there. So
yeah.
Anyways,
and then we also had another question about King David, which I think would be an interesting topic to get into.
Yeah.
So we'll get into all these eventually. Yep. There's just so much. I feel like we could talk about this forever, but we probably should stop at some point today.
Yeah. So just like, I feel like when it comes to history, it's the same as like what you're taught about the Bible. It's like, get in there and do the research yourself, because you can't trust what other people are saying.
Don't just believe
like,
it because we're told that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, see y'all.
Bye.